Pretty standard team for the Boulder Cup at SF State on January 31st, although I did TM Water Gun onto Wishcast just for the Skarmory matchup. And I do end up getting that matchup right off the bat. Water Gun at least hits neutral against Skarmory instead of the Mud Shot that would be resisted. And now Mud Bomb's resisted, but I go for it right away to try and bait a shield. He doesn't fall for it. And now he has his Sky Attack. It's neutral, but it takes a big chunk out of me. So I'm going to try and charge up for the Blizzard to knock it out, but I have to use a shield first to save that energy. And then I go for it, but because he's so low on health, he is going to use a shield. That was a mistake on my part. Down goes Cash Daddy, and I bring in my Skarm to finish his off. And then he goes Infernape. Interesting counter since it's still weak against flying, and that ends up making him use his last shield. Now my quick move still takes down his health really fast. And then we both get our charges in time. Unfortunately, I think I might have lagged, so that's why he got his off first. I had to use up my shield. Then I finish him off. And then his third mon is Swampert, and it just charges Surf ridiculously fast, knocked me out. And then I have Medicham left, and I have the advantage here, although he gets a Surf off, because Dynamic Punch can one-shot him. Although I didn't realize earlier he had saved his Skarmory before it died with the charge move ready, so he can come in and just sweep. Now I actually take a look at his team. After earlier I was a little anxious to start after a lot of delays and went in with actually my practice team with the wrong Wish Cache. So now it should be a little stronger, and I see he doesn't have a Skarmory counter besides the Infernape, which I know I can take down, so I decided to lead with that this time. And I go with Breloom as well because I see he's packing double Mud Boys. And there's one of them right off the bat. Now with full health, I feel like Skarmory can take it down, so I'm going to leave it in and take that first Surf to see how much it does, and it does a little more than I expected. So I go with the Sky Attack to at least burn a shield, charge it up a little bit more, and then this time I'll save Skarmory's health a little bit with the shield before switching with the Sky Attack ready, and Breloom can just take this Surf to resist it, and then charge up his move, and then he goes with Infernape. Now, right away, I have my Dynamic Punch, and that burns his second shield. So I can come in right away with Sky Attack ready to go and knock it out. Then he comes with Skarmory, which will take down my last Pokemon, Medicham. So I've got to knock off as much health as possible before my Skarmory goes down. And that's why I got to use a shield there to make sure I stay in and get one more Sky Attack off before his, which I barely do. And that gets him to the yellow at least. And then Skarmory goes down. And my last one's Medicham. Its fast move can take me down pretty quick, so I've got to go for the Ice Punch right away. That leaves no energy left for Swampert, but Solo will go down with a couple hits if I survive Surf, which I barely do. Whew, close one. I decided to go to my core lineup for the rubber match since he hasn't actually shown the double water type look yet, and he might be afraid of Breloom now. So we both go back to our openers from the first battle, and I know I can take one Sky Attack, and I don't use the shield, and I decided to wait until I have enough charge for a Blizzard before using Mud Bomb to make him think, but he didn't fall for it. Since I'm close to dying anyway, I decided to just go for it again, and he does use the shield with low health again, so at least I got one out before he switches with the Sky Attack ready. And I was surprisingly able to get one more Mud Bomb off before I died in the pseudo mirror match. That did more than expected, and then I go with Medi since we've seen this matchup before. I play it safe with the shield, and then I lag again trying to use an Ice Punch to save some health. You can even see me tapping a little bit there, but it allows him to get one more Surf in, so it ends up being a waste of energy for me. And his Skarm comes back in with the Sky Attack to burn my last shield. And then I end up using Ice Punch to draw his last shield, although there's a visual glitch that didn't show up. You can see that he doesn't have one anymore. He finishes me off, and then my Skarm's 1 or 2 hits to knock him out is actually kind of important since it allows me to charge a little bit of energy, and I need that to get my charge move off before him, and I do to get the win. And my next opponent was one of the hosts, I Am the Laws, and right away you can see there he doesn't have any Wish Cast or Skarm counters, so I know I can go with my main team. And at the start, I get the Wish Skarm matchup again, and I'm really glad I went with Water Gun for this tournament since you can see how much damage it does as a fast move. Again, he gets the Sky Attack off first, which I know I can take, and then I decided to take a chance with Blizzard. Might have caught him off guard because he doesn't use a shield, and then I'm able to finish him off with Water Gun. His next mon is Marowak, which I'm not afraid of here, and I'm actually get one more Mud Bomb off to burn his first shield. And Water Gun alone gets it to half health before Cash Daddy goes down, and I just go with Scarm since it'll resist all his ground moves. And on cue, he uses Earthquake, and that doesn't do too much, so then I go with Sky Attack to draw out his last shield. And at this point, I know I can just finish it off with Air Slash and save my charge for his third Pokemon. And it ends up being Hitmonchan, so with no shields, it's GG. Then I stick with the same team since I didn't have to use any of my shields or my third Mon in that battle. And this time he leads with Alolan Sandshrew, which I wasn't really sure what to expect, but I know my water type should resist its attacks. He's weak to Mud Bomb, so I'm surprised he took that. And then, like I thought, his steel move's not very effective. I finish it off and get Mud Bomb halfway charged for his next choice, which ends up being Hitmonchan. Again, not a bad matchup, and I can use Mud Bomb pretty quickly to burn his shield. Then for his charge move, I know nothing it packs can be super effective, so I take what ends up being Fire Punch, which is a surprising choice. I get his last shield down afterwards, and then I just decide to tank another Fire Punch, and then once again I get one more Mud Bomb off before Cash Daddy goes down. What a beast. His last Pokemon, Skarmory, finishes me off. I go with my Skarmory for the mirror match. I know I have the shield advantage, so it shouldn't be too much trouble. We exchange Sky Attacks, not very effective either way. So again, just going to be a matter of time until I wear his down and I use my shield just to play it safe. It looks like mine has better IVs just based on the damage dealt so far. And yeah, go for the Sky Attack again. He does his. Doesn't really matter if I use a shield or not, because I'm going to take him down with the next one either way. And that's the sweep. My next opponent was the other host of the tournament, Mustache Mark, and you see from his team there, he has a lot of counters to my stuff, so I don't have an easy option. I just go to Whiscrash. It's mostly safe. He's probably not going to leave Breloom as a hard counter. And I get another Mud Boy mirror match, and again, I'm doing more damage with Water Gun. He charges faster with Mud Shot there, so he gets a Surf right away. I go for the Mud Bomb. He tries to tank it as well, but it hits pretty hard. Then I can take one more, and I'm whittling it down. Could maybe get a Water Gun, but he gets the Surf off again, so I have to use a shield just to save my energy, and I just go for the Mud Bomb to finish him off, but he shields instead. I'm still able to knock it out with Water Gun, so I'm glad I got a shield out and finished it off. I actually got one more Mud Bomb off again with Whiscash before it died to get out his last shield. He actually uses a Surf just to finish off that little bit of health left. And I go with Skarmory to resist his Mud Shots. I can take a Surf relatively well here before I get my charge move off when he has no shields left. Right before the move goes off, he's able to bring in his Skarm counter Melmetal to resist it. But it's no problem because I have Metachamp to take it out. And then I could have used the shield there to play it safe, but I just take a Thunderbolt and show off how strong counter is as a fast move. And that allowed Dynamic Punch to get fully charged so I can take out Swampert right away, take a 1-0 lead. Now, looking at his team again, I decided to bring in Breloom to counter his two water types, and it still has counter Dynamic Punch like Metachamp to deal with Melmetal. And I stick with Wishcast as a safe counter. And then yet again, I get this Skarmory matchup. So this time, I decide I'm just going to go for a Mud Bomb right away to try to burn a shield or at least get some damage in. No surprise, he takes it. And then when he uses his charge attack, I mirror him and save the shield for now. And then I go for it again, and surprisingly, he uses a shield this time. Then I'm whittling it down, and I have to use my shield, again mirroring his, before I can get one more Mud Bomb off. And that finishes it off. And he brings in his Breloom after this matchup's already over, and so I go with Scar. Rips right through it, so he has to get out right away, goes back to Melmetal, and I'm able to come in with my Breloom. And then Lag saves him from counter damage there. And I expect to resist Thunderbolt here, but he surprises me with Hyper Beam and destroys me. And now I'm at a huge disadvantage because Melmetal's a hard counter to Skarmory. That was such a good surprise with Hyper Beam. I should have shielded. Now we're just exchanging attacks back and forth. I have the shield still, but it's not going to matter because Sky Attack's not going to do much against Melmetal. Then Thunderbolt's going to finish me off here. That time he didn't use either water type after using two the first time, so I go back to my core lineup with Metachamp for the final battle. And no surprise, he sticks with Skarmory as a lead. And since last time he took the first hit before shielding the second, I'm going to try and go for the Blizzard first this time. And so I take the Sky Attack to begin, and I go for Blizzard, but he shields this time. So now I'm just going to try and have to go for one more Mud Bomb before Wishcast goes down. So I use a shield this time to save him, and I go for the Mud Bomb to see if maybe I can get his last shield down or at least take it down, and that gets him to the red. And then my Scarm should be able to finish it off with just fast moves. I can take a Sky Attack, no big deal. But then I start to lag a little bit there. You see no animation, and that allows him to get one more Sky Attack off. Not very effective, but still takes an extra chunk before it dies. And then he had an accidental switch, went with Breloom, before Melmetal takes a Sky Attack. I probably should have switched right away, but since Skarmory was solo, I just decided to go for it with my charge moves and whittle it down. And it does pretty well. So then Medicham, I know the Hyper Beam's coming this time. I'm ready for it with a shield. I can take it out with just counter. And it leaves me charged up for an Ice Punch. And that should take it down. Oh, but he has a shield. But it's all good because Medicham resists opposing fighting types, so I can finish it off. Whew, close one, Mark. And then there's some delay before my next match. I actually forgot to record the first two battles, but we were split 1-1. And after last time we both went Skarmory, he took a chance and went with Steelix as a lead, and because of that, he has to switch right away. So off the bat, I have an advantage already with Mud Bomb charged up for his Marsh Stomp, and then we swap opposing charge moves, and I'm doing more damage with Water Gun again. I can take his Mud Bombs, and then go for mine to either finish him off or use a shield, and he just takes it. He tries to finish me off with Medicham, and again, I should have got another Mud Bomb off before dying, but you see some lag there, it doesn't go. Then I have the advantage with Skarmory in my flying attacks, and I know I can take neutral damage from either of his charge moves, but it does do a little more than I expected. And then he switches to Steelix. And right away, you see I tried to switch, but instead I accidentally used my charge move because of lag or something. It barely does anything, so I have to use a shield to protect Skarmory from Crunch before finally switching. Now I'm finally back in good position with Medi, and I know I can take a Crunch for neutral damage, and I probably could have taken it out with just counter, but I played it safe with Dynamic Punch, probably should have saved the charge, and then he goes with Medicham himself. And he has an Ice Punch ready. I decided to just take it, and then I get mine off to at least use up one of his shields, and then we exchange damage. I go down, and then Skarmory has a Sky Attack just about ready, but I forgot he still had one more shield. And then I have to use my last shield to prevent his Ice Punch from going through, and then I edge it out. Then I forgot again to record the beginning of the final because there's a long delay so that everyone could watch us. But I won the first match barely. He said he lagged a little bit, so now I decided to go with a Melmetal in there because he had double Skarmory against me. And he leads with one again. I probably could have left Wishcash in, but I decided to go with the mirror match. And there's the whole thing about whoever sends the challenge should win the tiebreaker in a mirror match for the charge move, but then I won it there. He was a little mad about it, and then it comes down to it again, and I win the tiebreaker again to get my charge move off first, and he decides to just not even do anything and quit the battle because he's supposed to win. Raise some eyebrows, but we replay the beginning of the match because he sent the challenge. He's supposed to get the charge move off first this time. That's why we're alternating who sends the challenge. But for whatever reason, I end up getting my charge move off first again. I don't know if it's lag or tapping faster or what, but that's how we go with it here for a little bit. And it happens again. We play through it, and it's going to be pretty close the way we're just exchanging Sky Attacks. And we're not using a shield either way yet. And then I end up using it and burning one of his shields at least while I take it myself and I go down. And then I bring Melmetal as my counter. And then we both experience some lag there. That's why I don't see any attacks. But then eventually goes through. So we played through. And he gets one more Sky Attack off. But that's why I have Melmetal to resist it. And then he goes with Medicham. So I switch out right away with the Thunderbolt charged up. And I know Medicham won't do too badly against my Wishcash, but then he switches out right when I'm going to use Mud Bomb, and this is a known glitch, the switch glitch, where a charge move goes right when he switch out, but then I come back, he doesn't, so we restart again. It sucked because I still had 2 shields left, but replay went a little differently and he edged me out. So now it comes down to the third match. I look at his team again. He went with a double scar both times, so this time I take a chance and lead with Melmetal. And he anticipated that and didn't go with Scarman this time. So I have to switch right away, have disadvantage. So I take a Surf, and then I'm going for the Mud Bomb. And we both just exchange hits to start. But I'm doing more damage than him, so I know I can have a good chance of taking it out. Use another Surf. And then I go for the Mud Bomb, and at least I burn a shield here. And then it was a real tough choice whether to save Wishcash or save the shield for later. I probably should have just kept him in, burned the shield. But instead I get Skarmory in, get a little energy in for the mirror match, which is going to be huge here. So because of that, I can get my charge move off first for sure this time. And then we're just going to exchange some hits. No need to burn a shield because it's not very effective either way. And in the back of my head, I'm wondering what its third Pokemon's going to be, and whether I'll need Melmetal for it or Skarmory. So for now, I'm still just going to take the hits. And then here, I'm actually going to burn his last shield, and I have to decide whether to use mine or not again. Because I had 2 and some charge there, I probably should have used the shield. Instead, I have Melmetal with 2 shields against 1.5 Pokemon. He's fortunate to get one more Sky Attack before I knock him out. And his last Pokemon's another Mud Bomber. I have a huge disadvantage here, even with the 2 shields, so I at least get Thunderbolt off right away, but he resisted, of course. And you can see how fast my health's gone down already just from his fast moves. Even with the shields against his Mud Bombs, I'm going down way too quick, and I'm not doing enough damage for Thunderbolt. If I can get one more off here, I could win, but he gets his Mud Bomb off again, and that's the game. Maybe I could have won if I played the shields differently, but I really should have just stuck with Metacham in my core lineup there, but ended up second out of 20 in my first tournament.